I know a lot of y'all are not the biggest sports buffs. Some of y'all are watching the World Cup. Some of y'all don't give a f. This year, we are seeing so many of the bottom tier teams making it to the group stage and further than they ever have before. Really been actually enjoying it from watching it from home, despite all the craziness with the prices and the greed. What's happening in football, for those of you in America, soccer, is that the disparity between the top end teams and the bottom end teams is disappearing. That doesn't mean that they're not still better teams, but it's shrinking. And this is not necessarily about sports. What it is really telling is how investment and development start to equal the playing field between the have-nots and the haves. Sometimes a lot of people just take it for granted that the differences between countries or societies is all a matter of something innate. These people are just better. They're whatever it is. And not recognizing that enough resource and development go into places, you can watch them flourish and erase a lot of that gap. And so why this World Cup's exciting? I actually believe that within the next few iterations, we may see a champion of the World Cup from Africa. We might see a champion from Asia, which hasn't been seen for God knows how long, if ever. So a lot of players who play in the top leagues, so you're looking at La Liga, Serie A, Premier League, Bundesliga, those players are now more represented in the bottom tier teams today more than ever. Meaning, like, if you look at the Senegal team, if you look at the Moroccan team, like the amount of players that they have playing in the top leagues whilst representing their country is higher than ever. And that goes to show that people are opting to play for their native country. Why? Because these people oftentimes grew up abroad. They lived in England, they lived in France, they lived in all these places, but they're choosing to play for their parents' origin country or whatever it might be, despite the league that they're playing in. Why is that? It doesn't just come down to like attachment. What's happening now, and what a lot of these bottom tier teams have realized, is that they have to invest and they have to scout from an early age. So a lot of these players are being approached while they're in academies. And they're being approached by these native countries being saying, hey, we'd love for you to play with us. We'll invest in this, we'll do that. And people are choosing over playing for the better teams, quote unquote, to play for their native country. That's one thing that's different. So now it's not just Germany or France or England just monopolizing all the players. Some of them are going back. We're even finding teams like Cabo Verde. Cabo Verde played, I think, Spain to a draw, which is crazy.
It's crazy.
Do you understand like the population of Cabo Verde?
500 million people.
Okay, so 500,000 people. 500 million is crazy. Okay. 500,000, and they drew Spain. I think they drew another team in their group. So they really overperformed. The second part of this equation that's really important beyond the scouting, a lot of these other areas have started developing tournaments. They started developing more friendlies. And why is that important? What ended up happening is a lot of African teams and a lot of Asian teams would play friendlies maybe 3 to 4 times in a 4 or 5 year gap, which meant that they had little to no experience on the international stage or getting playing time together. Whereas the European counterparts or the South American counterparts who had developed a lot more had many more tournaments to work on their chemistry, to scout the players, to see whether or not they fit. Now with AFCON, with a lot of these federations springing up, be it in Morocco, I think Morocco is the best example because they got governmental assistance in a lot of ways. We're seeing these teams flourish on the stage. I think, what was it, yesterday? Senegal, they were up 2-0 against Belgium.
They lost.
But they were the dominant team for a good majority of that game. And when you see the progress of that, it's like, oh, the Giants are no longer looking unbeatable. It's not just the top tier teams versus farmers. We're actually seeing parity. Actually incredibly entertaining because you don't know what's going to happen on any given day. There's no more blowouts like there used to be, the 7-0s of the farmer teams or whatever. That stuff is being weeded out. And we're seeing highly competitive games between Japan and Brazil. A 1-1 draw that ends up in a 2-1 for Brazil at the last. But you didn't know who was going to win.
No, that's crazy.
And I get excitement over this because it just really goes to show you that doesn't matter what aspect of life it is, even though we think these people are inferior or whatever it is. And I know a lot of you don't think that, but I think it's always good to have reminders. Like, if you invest enough, if you develop things properly, there's a chance for a lot of these people to capitalize on the resources and talent that they have that is just going to waste.
It's a more of a representation of who is playing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I used to see back in the days, like when I was watching it, for example, 94, right? It was Italy, it was Brazil, it was Germany. France was not even really that bad, but it was those teams, right? And now I really see the world. I really see the world who actually plays it. Haiti was in there. They were not able to dispute one match in their country. They lost all their matches. They were there. let's be honest, Haiti was not even supposed to be there.
Didn't they score their first World Cup goal in history?
Football is not just Argentina, Brazil, Italy, Belgium, Spain. It's not. There's much more people that play the sports. Canada is in the knockout rounds.
Canada being in the knockout rounds is not crazy.
No, it's not.
And the reason why it's not
anymore.
crazy is there's been a lot of investments in the youth leagues. If you think about Alphonso Davies, who plays for, I believe, Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Top tier back, right? And he plays at an exceptionally high level. Now, obviously, he's been injured, but there's been development of other players, either through the MLS league or some of them playing abroad. And so they've had that time. Even the United States, how long were they the laughing stock of the world when it came to football?
100%.
Everybody was just like, they're a joke of a team. And this year, they're actually playing good football. I bet they haven't played the top tier comp, but they still play at a fairly high level. And there could be a time with enough investment, enough youth excitement, enough talent being bridged into this, that they could reach the top levels that even the Europeans play at. I mean, there's been a lot of cool moments. I think, didn't the USA just beat Bosnia? They're in the top 16. Bosnia eliminated Italy.
That's crazy.
Italy complained, saying that Africa has too many teams going through to the World Cup. Italy gets clapped by Bosnia, and then Bosnia gets clapped by the USA. I will say Italy's a fucking embarrassment, okay? And this is their karma for what they did to Zinedine Zidane in that World Cup final. I've hated them ever since, okay?
100%.
Like Italy, the country, hate the fucking team, all right? I think it's just important, if there's any takeaway for this for people who don't really care about sports, is that human potential is oftentimes wasted. We just don't put in the chances for them to actually be able to grow. And the countries that do, see the results. Look at Croatia. Croatia is one of the top footballing countries in the world. Small ass population, they have Hall of Famers everywhere. 100%. But the reason why is that their youth academies, everything involved is top tier. So they're competing against the best teams in Europe, playing amazing, but it's only because they invest. And so, yeah, I don't know. To me, there's something really uplifting about that.
Yeah, Cabo Verde is not supposed to be there, technically, but they are.
Yeah.
And they doing their thing. So whenever I see people and I hear people talking about, we're not, it's just sports, we should invest in that. You see the pride, you see the amount, you see what is brought back to the country. You see how you're able to give something to the youth to look for. There's a lot of plus into investing in those sports. There's a lot of plus investing in the youth, that having prospects to be able to have a chance to go on a worldwide stage. So it's been, even after the backlash and everything that happened with the World Cup, it's been very interesting to see.
Yeah. So,
right, legit, other World Cups, you at this stage, you could kind of say or have your pinpoints of who could win. Now, I don't know.
I mean, France are favorites.
Yes,
them and Argentina are like two of the big favorites.
But then again, I know there could be an upset. There could definitely be an upset.
Oh, Abba knows ball. I know ball. I watch. All right, I watch a lot of the top leagues. Hey, boy. Now, listen, I used to live in Ethiopia. If you don't watch football over there, you're a bit of a fucking weirdo. To be honest with you. All right. But